have to go to the root. We have to go to the cause. Dealing with the condition itself is not enough.
Dear Mr. Massa, I'm just trying to mind my own business. What's the matter? It's just another day, another black king captured. I'm about to lose my brain, stuck inside this ghetto rapture. I got a lot of smoke. If you want it, you can have it. They want a hat trick, but this is black girl magic. Ain't talking about the kind that'll make you disappear, but I'm talking about the power of the melanin within. Ain't looking for trouble, but I'ma say this one time. I put 2 dukes up if you try to touch mine. We still want justice for Samir and Trayvon. You say you don't see color, but racism ain't blind. They targeting little kids whose skin look just like mine. So I'm paranoid, it's a war zone outside. And I'm a black queen, so if you ask me to step out of my car, you gon' have to snatch me. Cause I ain't going no damn well. Had to spend my whole life living unfair. Ancestors got my back and they right here. You can never understand, it's a nightmare. Living in my black shoes by the black rules. You can keep your handshake, I don't dap coons. The white man that go nuts if he can't shoot. But you all on his side like a damn fool. Make it make sense.
We are oppressed.
Queen.
We are exploited. We are downtrodden.
Make it make
We are
sense.
denied not only civil rights, but even human rights.
Ahmadiyyah.
So the only way we're going to get some of this
Ahmadiyyah.
oppression and exploitation
Queen.
away from us or aside from us is come together
Queen.
against the common enemy. Who taught you to hate the texture of your
Ahmadiyyah.
hair? Who taught you to hate the color of your skin?
Ahmadiyyah.
Parents, pay attention to the books, the school system, even to your little children. Lies mixed with wisdom. His skin too bright, so he was blind to the prison. My skin just right, so I collide with division. You trying to pray to God, but we tired of religion. No savior saving, we got to save our savings. We used to pay miss, how we gon' make the slave rich? But who's to blame, and tell me why you complaining? We need a team effort just to rule the nation. Like a bad relationship, missing communication. We missing moderation. They're trying to get a poison to my population. No reparations. I'm getting tired of Satan.
We are oppressed.
I'm
Queen.
getting tired of waiting.
We are downtrodden.
Queen.
We are denied not only civil rights, but even human rights.
Ahmadiyyah.
So the only way we're going to get some of this
Ahmadiyyah.
oppression and exploitation
Queen.
One of mine and you're done. They show no love for the queen. Why you hating on me? Is it cause I'm free and I got Malcolm X in my jeans? I got dreams like King Luther, shed blood like Kunsa. You ain't helping my people, I ain't got nothing to say to ya. I want all the smoke like hookah. Talking reparations. America won't be great until they give us compensation. I'm like, I'm the hottest right now. See a bunch of lames out here trying to jock on my style. They be doing too much. I'm the queen, it's too easy. It's like they all in Popeyes, how they be talking so greasy. I just sit back and laugh while these haters get madder. So nefarious how they don't want my pockets with cheddar. I tell them they can do better. These snakes in the grass can leave a bite on your ass, cause y'all be trusting too fast. I got my foot on the gas, other one on they necks. Dropping receipts on haters, you better show some respect. I'm never facing regret, we only facing the threat.
This is the sound of Eric Malcolm.
It's a cut on the gas, other one on they necks. Dropping receipts on haters, you better show some respect. I'm never facing regrets, we only facing the threat. Running through every challenge like a relay, break no sweat. It's a cold game, so I got that blanket with me. Now that my people awaken, ain't no going to sleep. I do not play by my piece, this time I'm playing for keeps. You talking slick, but when I see you like them ends, we gon' meet. And I got gold all in my skin, God all in my blood, kings all in my circle. You touch one of mine and you're done. They show no love for the queen, why they hating on me? Is it cause I'm free and I got Malcolm X in my jeans, and I got gold all in my skin, God all in my blood, kings all in my circle. You touch one of mine and you done. They show no love for the queen. Why they hating on me? Is it cause I'm free and I got Malcolm X in my jeans and I got...
This is the sound of David Fine.
All right. Hello, everyone. Thanks for tuning back in once again to the original Queen Ahmadiyyah Shakur show. I'm your host, Queen Ahmadiyyah Shakur, and this is your Daily Vitamins. Now, can you guys hear me? Please put ones in the chat if you can hear me loud and clear. Ones in the chat. Mr. Elevation said, and the nefariousness continues. Ones in the chat if you guys can hear me loud and clear. Okay, because I am having drama over here. Okay, somebody is after me, you guys. I want you all to pay attention. Somebody is after the queen, honey. I've been getting crazy phone calls today. Okay, talking about you better shut the hell up. You better keep your mouth quiet. Why are you still talking? Then my computer's acting crazy. I had to call the cybersecurity specialist. This is all crazy. I want you all to pay attention. Okay, I just got off the phone with the security company. Or the antivirus protection company. And they were trying to figure out what the hell's going on. I couldn't access my microphone. I mean, it's just a whole bunch of crazy stuff going on. I want y'all to pay attention. I want y'all to Woo, honey, I don't have time for this. They got the queen's nerves rattled. Not because I'm scared, but because I was just so anxious because I was ready to get on here and I know everybody's waiting. And I'm like, what the hell's going on? Why can't I access my camera and my microphone? So it's all crazy. It's all crazy. We had to do some troubleshooting and get it all together, honey. Easy said, they're not going to shut you up, Queen. You already know. Christopher said, Queen, you need protection. Yes, y'all. Who's going to help the queen? They're after me, guys. Oh, my God. Okay, so let me just get myself together. Whew. Oh, my goodness. Okay. Now, so that all being said, how y'all doing? How are y'all doing, honey? We are here for the tea and the drama. Okay, so anyway, listen, I love y'all. Okay, I'm so glad to be on here. Everyone, please hit that like button. Please like, share, subscribe. Okay, it doesn't cost you anything. You can do it absolutely for free. Okay, after all the drama, my life could be at risk. Are y'all not going to like the video? It's crazy. And so anyway... no, Marcy said we understand the evils. Yes, honey, I've been connecting these dots, okay, and people don't like it. Okay, I mean, even my TikTok. Let me tell y'all what happened to me on TikTok. So the video that I did about Jay-Z about 2 days ago, do y'all know they took that video down? They took the video down, said I violated community guidelines, but didn't say why. There was no reason why, because I didn't. So nevertheless, they took the video down, didn't tell me why. They just said it violated guidelines and didn't give me the option to appeal it as they normally would. So then when I reached out to them and I said, hey, listen, I'm not able to appeal this video. And they said, well, you know, sometimes you don't get to appeal them. Say what? Just want y'all to pay attention. Something shady is going on here. Something real shady is going on, okay? I am so serious. I am so serious, all right? Now, y'all know people have threatened the queen before. I played you all the recording, okay? That time I caught them on record. But anyway, let's just get into it. Ugh. We need to get on the spiritual channel tomorrow is all I'm saying, okay? Pay attention. Okay, so everyone please hit the like button and let's get ready for the receipts. Okay, so Diddy, as you know, has 3 more lawsuits by these men exposing his nefariousness. Okay, so before I get started, everyone please make sure you don't forget to follow me on Instagram at Dr_A_Shakur, TikTok at Dr. A Shakur, and Twitter at DGoddess27. All right. And as per usual, if you don't like what the queen is cooking, you already know what to do. You can just exit stage left right out that virtual door and don't let it hit you on your way out. But for those of you who are glad to be here with the queen, please be so kind and considerate as to watch your comments in the chat. Let's not go in on each other. Everyone should respectfully agree to disagree. Okay, let's not call people nasty names like I saw somebody doing days ago. Okay, we don't run that kind of chat over here. All right, we try to get along like a little family and all of that. And everyone's welcome to come, but let's not be, doing too much. I'm not saying you can't go in on somebody every now and then if you have to, but I'm just saying, please, let's be respectful about how we do things. Okay? Oh, okay, so let's get into these receipts about Diddy.
Okay, now I was going to go through the lawsuits, the paperwork. I'll probably do that tomorrow because today we got other fish to fry as it pertains to this, because I want you all to pay attention to something. How many of you, ones in the chat, how many of you saw, Mr. Elevation said the wiggatry of it all. I know, right? But how many of you saw the broadcast that I did this morning about Basquiat, about Jay-Z's obsession, it seems, with Basquiat? And let me say allegedly. Once in the chat, if you saw that broadcast, and if you didn't see that one, you may be a bit behind on what I'm about to talk about, because this is more information about Basquiat, because Jay-Z's not the only one that seems to have some type of obsession with him or some type of, connection. Okay, so everybody's putting ones. Good. For the rest of you, please go back and watch it. Okay, so first off, let's talk about these docs that Diddy had filed. Okay, I meant to tell you all this morning, and I'm pretty sure I forgot about it, because y'all know sometimes the queen be having so many receipts, she can't remember all of them. Okay, so now this is something that was filed yesterday. I'm not going to read all of this. I'm just going to basically tell y'all what it was. Basically, it was their response. Now, you remember the other day, I'm going to share my screen so y'all can see this. You remember the other day, when the prosecution was basically saying that if in fact they were trying to accuse them of having viewed attorney-client privileged information, that they wanted them to, unredact the stuff. Remember all of the information that was redacted? They had all this stuff blocked out. Well, they wanted them to resubmit the paperwork without all the redactions. And so this is their response to that. It's just about 2 pages. Hold on, let me put my spectacles on. Okay, so dear Judge Subramanian, the defense writes in response to the government's letter regarding defendant Sean Combs' pending motion for a hearing, suppression, and relief. Specifically, we write to address the government's request that the court order the defendant to provide unredacted copies of the ex parte filings directly to the filter team. So they want unredacted copies because, like I said, it was a lot of information that was redacted. Okay, so anyway, goes on to say, in the event the court would like the filter team to address the privilege issues. Okay, so this is why they want it unredacted, because if they can't see everything that's in there, then they really can't argue whether as to whether or not it was in fact stuff that they shouldn't have seen. This is the prosecution. They can't say, well, we weren't supposed to see this. Okay, we agree, because they don't know what it said because they've got it redacted at this point. Okay, so anyway, it goes on to say, in the event that the court considers this request, the defense objects to any such disclosure of the ex parte filings. And with that all being said, the government cites no authority supporting any such request, and then references the case of United States versus Seglia. Now, they say the government cites no authority supporting any such request. So they're saying, listen, they want us to do this, but they don't have a leg to stand on. They don't have anything to support the fact that we have to do this, that we should feel compelled to do this. It's just something they're asking for. And then goes on to cite this case and says, in this case, they did not order any such relief. Their privileged documents were shared with a wall AUSA pursuant to an agreement between the government and the defendant. And when the Wall USA sought disclosure of additional documents over the defendant's objections, the court denied the government's request and ordered the defendant to produce the documents directly to the court for in-camera review. Now, indeed, making ex parte in-camera submissions is a practice both long-standing and routine in cases involving claims of privilege. Okay, in reference to grand jury subpoena dated July the 6th of 2005, he's referencing more cases. He goes on to say, they talk about a well-settled notion. Okay, hold on, I'm gonna skip past all that rigmarole. So basically, he's citing these other cases, saying that they didn't make them do it, so we don't feel that we have to do it. We don't want to unredact anything. Whatever is blacked out, we want it to stay that way. And they really don't have any citings or cases that they can say set precedents for them to be able to make us to do it. Okay, that's basically what he's saying. All right. So now let's talk about these grapes. And another thing, let me say this. This morning, see, I go back and watch my videos sometimes because sometimes I misspeak. I might say a wrong name or whatever. And so remember this morning when I was telling you guys about Jay-Z and how they said Roger Goodell and the NFL is going to stand by him. And I reminded you how Roger Goodell was patting him on the head or shoulder when he signed the contract and all that. And I said there was a guy that was down there in Mar-a-Lago who was involved in some allegedly involved in some sex trafficking. And so he was with the NFL. And I said that wasn't, so that makes sense to me that, you know, these people, they work together, they stick together, birds of a feather. And I said it was a player, but it wasn't a player. I meant to tell you guys it was Robert Kraft. That's who it was. Robert Kraft. Here's the report right here. Here's the report right here. Hold on. Here's the report right here. Let me just pull this up. I didn't even mean to have that on the screen. Hold on. It was Robert Kraft. Okay, if you guys remember. Hopefully that won't take too long to load. Okay, it says it's unable to load. Okay. Well, with that all being said, let me just tell you guys what happened. Okay, so police allege the New England Patriots owner Robert Kraft spent a total of 53 minutes at a Florida day spa across 2 visits, during which time he paid for sex. And so you say, well, men do that all the time. Well, yeah, some of them do. But in this case, the women that were paid, these women were allegedly trafficked. They were Asian women working in this spa, and then come to find out they didn't have identification, you know, and they were all just there, and they were supposedly being trafficked. And he was called out. Robert Kraft was called out for being involved in that, and there was all together. And I want you all to pay attention, because this is something that really kind of got swept under the rug, because there was supposedly about 200 big time men of wealth and prestige that were allegedly involved in this. And here it says court documents reveal what police did to investigate the Jupiter Spa, that was the name of it, and capture what they say is evidence of Kraft and more than 20 other men receiving sexual services there in January. Now, police started investigating Orchids of Asia Day Spa in late October after sheriff's detectives in the county to the north, Martin County, gave them some information. Now, they said 20, but I promise you, when this story came out back then, I could have sworn they said like 200. I still think they did, but let's continue. So they said Martin County detectives since July were investigating possible human trafficking and prostitution at several massage parlors in their own jurisdiction. Now they were telling Jupiter police that they had reason to believe that Orchids of Asia might be doing something similar, according to the police affidavit. Okay, so they said the detective searched the web and sees rub and tug reviews. Okay, acting on a tip, a Jupiter detective searched for a business on the internet and saw several reviews describing it as a rub and tug. You know what that means? Slang for a parlor where a masseuse will provide sexual services. Okay, the detective decided to covertly record the outside of the business on video for about a week, 24 hours a day. Okay, the affidavit doesn't say how the video surveillance was done. Okay, so I'm not going to get all into that, but I brought that up to say this. It's no surprise to me that Roger Goodell said he's standing by Jay-Z. And it also is no surprise to me that that story didn't get a whole lot of coverage and it went away real quick. Okay, it went away real quick, and I want you all to pay attention, because I keep telling you guys how everybody jumps on the bandwagon when it's somebody who looks like me. Everybody's doing all the stories they can do, digging up all the receipts, talking all the trash, and that's fine. We all are talking trash, but I just wish they'd have that same energy for the people who don't look like me, you know, because I go in on everybody involved in it. Okay, I read Trump's criminal paperwork for the lawsuits of sexual assault. Those of you who follow the backup channel, you know I went and dug those up. The one with the guy from Abercrombie and Finch, I was talking about him all the way back in January before he even got indicted. Mike Jeffries. I talked about Vince McMahon from WWE, okay, when he had charges. I talked about that months ago back in April before he also got in more trouble recently. Okay, Jimmy Ivan, all these people, I just want you all to pay attention because some people, even some of our own people, only want to talk about the black people. And you have to be careful when you're doing that. And also remember how I told you guys, and this is all true because I showed you the receipts. I showed you guys how all this stuff that they put out on R. Kelly, which we know R. Kelly was doing, or we believe that R. Kelly was doing these things since the 90s because we heard about that first video. But I told you guys, nobody was saying a word about R. Kelly until Harvey Weinstein got exposed. And then months later, they come out talking about R. Kelly, and then here comes Surviving R. Kelly, and all of a sudden, the conversation turns away from Harvey Weinstein and then focuses on R. Kelly. You see how that works? It's like a magic trick, sleight of hands. Let's make the black man the face of the nefariousness. Okay? That's how that goes. So I just wish that everyone would report as equally on the other people as they do of the black men. That's all I'm saying. You know, that's all I'm saying. Okay, let's call out everybody, not just Diddy and Jay-Z and R. Kelly. You know, let's not just call out the people who look like me. Let's call out all of the devils, everybody who's doing it, everybody who had a hand in it. And while Mr. Tony Busby is going around here gathering receipts on Jay-Z, which is fine because I don't care for Jay-Z, but I'm just wondering, does he have any receipts on Ashton Kutcher? What about Leonardo DiCaprio? And did you guys even know, because I never heard anyone report on this on YouTube except for me, did you guys even know that John Travolta was accused of S assaults on more than one occasion? Did y'all know that before I reported it? Because I never heard anybody talk about it. And I actually found that story when I was doing research. This had dated all the way back to 2010. I'm like, how did I not hear about this? So I want you all to pay attention how these stories get buried when it's people who don't look like us. Okay, Measure Man says, look up the Jamie Foxx live caught showing pictures of black NFL players. Really? I'm not surprised, beloved. I sure will. Thank you. And thank you for your insight into the topic and your contribution to the channel, beloved. Peace, love, and blessings. GK said Scientologists. I'm glad you brought that up because I reported on them too. The leader of them, whose wife mysteriously vanished, has been missing for years. And nobody wants to know where she's at. Yeah, I went in on them too, as well as Nickelodeon. I was one of the first people, if not the first, to report on Nickelodeon. Okay, so I just want you all to pay attention. So that's why when somebody came here the other day trying to imply that I'm going in on Billy Carson and he looks like me, you know, basically saying he's black, you shouldn't go in on him. Yes, I should. You know, you don't get to, you know, just get away with it or get a pass just because you're black. I'm going to go in on anybody who's doing something detrimental. And also, I meant to ask that person when they were saying that, would they do the same for Candace Owens? Would they do the same and defend Candace Owens? I have questions because if that's the way you're going to think about it, oh, just because they're black, I need to stick up for them. So would you also stick up for Tim Scott, whom I like to call affectionately Uncle Tim? Okay? You see what I'm talking about here? So they sound ridiculous when they act like we cannot report on people or call people out just because they're black. Okay, where's Billy Carson's black friends while we're talking? Okay, they're going so hard in the paint. Does Billy Carson even have any black friends? I have questions. I mean, not that he can't not have any, but I'm just saying, if he doesn't have any, then why are you, black lady, going in so hard for him? That's all I'm wondering. But let me continue. So with that all being said, let's talk about the nefariousness of these lawsuits against Diddy. Because I told you guys months ago, you heard it here first, that Diddy was harvesting the energy, allegedly harvesting the energy from his victims via their chakras, the root chakra. Okay? And Jay-Z, in my opinion, this is another thing I want to tell you all about Jay-Z. Let's go back to that. Because when I talk to you all about Jay-Z and Marina Abramovich and the teachings of Aleister Crowley, and this is all alleged, Jay-Z and Diddy both maintain their innocence. This stuff I'm saying about chakras and harvesting energy is just my opinion. This is all nothing more than conjecture and speculation. I can't prove any of it. It is in my opinion that when Marina Abramovich has this relationship with Jay-Z, and I told you how their hair was intertwined together, and I told you what I felt like she was doing. I showed you all the picture. You know, not only transferring energy to him, of the nefarious knowledge, okay, of the witchcraft and the Satanism and all that stuff that she's involved in allegedly, but also absorbing the energy of his melanated being, his melanated self. Okay. I don't know if he knows that. Maybe he does. I don't know if she bothered to tell him, but that's clearly what she was doing. Using him as a conduit. Okay? That's what she was doing. Basically using him as a conduit. And you see, because when they're teaching you these things, this esoteric information and doing these things, they're going to always, and let me make sure I don't forget anything because I wrote down my notes. They're always going to be getting something from it for themselves. Okay? And that just goes for anybody that deals in the demonic realm. And there was something else I wanted to tell you guys. Hold on. And another thing too, what she was also doing was she was creating this, how do I want to say it? She was basically, gathering energy from his auric field. Okay, that's what she was doing. And I'm pretty sure, in my opinion, this is alleged, that she's taught him to do the same thing. You see, Diddy bursting chakras via violently graping people from the back door, okay, to burst their root chakra and all of that, which, as I told you before, when you do things like that, you disrupt the person's flow of energy, you implant demonic, low vibrational, negative energy, i.e. darkness, within that person. And then you're able to steal from them their very life force, their energy. Okay, this is why when people are depressed, they're down, they're tired, they don't feel like doing anything, they're lethargic. This is why, because that low vibrational energy, it gives you no life, it gives you no energy. Okay, only darkness. And so easy call them backdoor bandits. Exactly. Okay, so let's get into these lawsuits. Diddy hit with more lawsuits. 3 men say they were drugged, assaulted, and all of that. So 3 men sued Sean Diddy Combs in New York on Thursday, claiming the hip-hop mogul drugged and raped them. The lawsuits were filed anonymously in a state court, and they add a wave of assault litigation against the rapper, producer, and record executive, as he also faces federal trafficking charges in New York. Now, Thomas Giuffra, I hope I'm saying that name right, a New York attorney who filed Thursday's lawsuits on the men's behalf. Now, this isn't Tony Busby. This is a whole nother attorney. Okay, he filed them on the men's behalf. He said that Combs used his power and wealth to take advantage of the accusers and then ensured their silence through threats and fear. Saying this is a long overdue opportunity for the victims to take the power back after carrying the burden of the assaults in silence for years. Now, while a lawsuit will not undo the wrongs done to them, it enables the survivors to regain the power and dignity that was stripped from them by Sean Combs. Lawyers for Combs basically said the claims are baseless. They keep saying that as the claims continue to mount. Now, these complaints are full of lies, his lawyer said in their statement, and they declined to elaborate. We will prove them false and seek sanctions against every unethical lawyer who filed fictional claims against him. Now, the lawsuits involve incidents taking place from 2019 to 2022. The men, all identified as John Doe, said they were unwittingly served drugged drinks and then assaulted by Combs and others. They seek a jury trial and to be awarded unspecified damages. Now, one of the men claims that Combs drugged and raped him in 2020 when the two met at Combs' suite at the Intercontinental Hotel in Times Square to discuss payments the man was owed as a longtime employee of the entrepreneur. Now, that's the same hotel where he whipped Cassie's behind in the hallway. Please pay attention. Another claims that he met Combs in 2019 at a Manhattan nightclub and was invited to an after party at Combs' suite at the Park Hyatt Hotel, where he was also drugged and raped. This is all nefarious. The man said he tried to resist before before the drugged drink left him unconscious. He also said that he was given $2,500 after the attack by a man who had been recording the bedroom assault. Now, let me tell you all something. That sounds about right, because I'm going to tell you like this. Somebody told me, okay, I'm not going to say who this person is, but a young lady that I was pretty close to some years ago told me that an R&B singer did some things to her and offered her that amount of money. Almost that same amount. Not exactly, but almost that same amount. And said that he just put it in her purse as she was leaving. And I'm not going to say who this person is, but I tell you what, this person's been in trouble for that before, been accused of it before, and it's an R&B singer. That's an R&B singer. That's all I'm going to say about that. Maybe I'll get her to come on here someday. I don't know. Now, the third man claims that he was drugged and raped by Combs and associates from his record label during a summertime party in 2020 at Combs' mansion in East Hampton, New York. Combs has pleaded not guilty to federal charges that he coerced and abused women for years and using a network of associates and all of that. We know the rest. They say prosecutors say that he silenced his victims through blackmail and violence. Honey, Diddy is not getting out on bail. He might as well hang it up. His attorneys need to sit down somewhere because these cases continue to mount. Okay? These cases continue to mount. And it's just getting real crazy here at the end of the day. It's getting real crazy here. Hold on, beloveds. Let's go to this news report about it. I'm going to share my screen. Hold on, is this news report even talking about this? Yeah, it says new lawsuits accuse Sean Combs of raping 3 men. Okay, so I'm going to share my screen. Andrea said the diddler is a low-down disgrace. Yeah, he definitely is, beloved. That's a fact. Okay, here we go. Likes up, everyone, please like and share. Thank you in advance.
Assault, according to separate civil lawsuits filed Thursday. The suits allege Diddy plied them with doctored drinks, then attacked them while they were unconscious.
They were all very consistent, frighteningly consistent.
New York-based attorney Thomas Giffra represents the 3 anonymous accusers.
All 3 of these guys, same thing. They'd wake up and he'd be raping them.
Kind of difficult for me.
Tonight, one of the new accusers speaking exclusively to NBC News.
Can you explain to everyone why you don't want to reveal your identity?
Well, at the top of the list, it's definitely shameful and embarrassing.
In early 2020, he says he met with Combs at a hotel in Times Square, seeking payment for errand-type work he had completed for Diddy. He says the discussion was cordial and he had a drink.
Within 2 minutes, I start to feel like just very tired, very sleepy. Mind you, I'm not under the impression that I'm being drugged or anything like that.
He says he was so groggy that he laid down on the couch.
When I finally kind of came to, I could feel myself being humped and I could feel I was penetrated. I'm like, hey, what's... And the thing that sticks in my head today, the phrase that just rattles in my brain all the time is I'm almost done. Just stop moving. I'm almost finished.
In a statement to NBC News, Combs' lawyers said, these complaints are full of lies. We will prove them false and seek sanctions against every unethical lawyer who filed fictional claims against him.
There are now more than a dozen civil cases that have been filed against Combs. He remains in jail awaiting trial on federal charges, including sex trafficking, and he has pleaded not guilty.
If you have
Why are my glasses crooked? Hold on. Let me get them straight. Okay. So, yeah, this is all real bad, Diddy. As far as I'm concerned. And this, somebody in the chat said he's been getting lawsuits since last November. Absolutely. Okay, absolutely. So, let me just tell you all a bit more information about what has been alleged in these filings. So, they accuse him of assault in separate lawsuits filed. Okay, they were filed anonymously. One man, a longtime employee of Diddy's, okay, he said he was raped at a New York hotel where he met him to discuss a substantial amount of money that he was owed off the books. The man said he worked for Combs from 2006 to 2018, running errands, and that while they weren't buddy-buddy, he also didn't expect to be victimized when he met with him in early 2020. But inside the hotel room, the man says Combs served him a drink, and in 2 minutes, I started to feel like I was just very tired and sleepy. When he came to, he said Combs was raping him, and when he tried to stop him, Combs said, hold on, I'm almost done. What? Ooh, honey, this is all so sick. I'm almost done, he says. The phrase that just rattles in my brain all the time is, I'm almost done. Just stop. Just stop moving. I'm almost finished. I'm almost done. Oh, Lord, this is all a mess. Okay, this is all a mess. Can you imagine? Can you imagine somebody telling you that while they're taking advantage of you? This is all sick. Okay, Diddy is just really starting to tick me off even more so. Okay, let me just get myself together. Okay, so anyway, So I'm almost done. Not the nerve of him. If this is all true, of course. Diddy maintains his innocence. Ugh. So Giuffre, that's the attorney, told NBC News that the way the men alleged Combs went after them was very consistent, frighteningly consistent, exactly consistent. He would hit them with the drinks and then knock them out. And when they woke up, he'd be graping them. The new complaints are let me just tell you all something. I want you all to think about this. Because those of you who are my day ones may remember, let me take my glasses off, honey, because I don't know why my glasses don't want to stay on my face straight. But listen, those of you who are my day ones may remember the story that I told you, and I have to bring this up again because this story is so sick. I'm going to write about it in my book, okay? My friend from high school who I've known since I was 14 or 15, okay? Her son, if you all remember, I told you her son was dating this girl who didn't look like him. He looks like me, she didn't. And not that that's important, but I'm just giving context. So said that he was dating this girl and she was supposed to be involved in some sort of witchcraft. Now, my friend didn't know this, okay? But my friend had a dream of her son coming out of the girl's house with an octopus-like thing wrapped around his head. And then she said she was coming to pick him up and she was trying to pull this thing off. She couldn't get it off. Now, I told her that's the sign of a demon because there's a demon that supposedly looks like an octopus. And so I said something sketchy is going on. Well, then come to find out later, this girl's involved in witchcraft. Okay. She had introduced my friend's son to these guys, a group of guys, about 4 or 5 of them. They all dressed in black, like gothic, the black fingernails, fingernail polish and all of that, just all black clothing. And so they told him that the reason they dressed that way is because they lied and said they were in a Christian rock band. Turns out they were devil worshippers. They were Satanists. And they had parents who engaged in these things and were belonging to a coven. And so what happened was one night, now he didn't know any of this at the time, mind you. And so one night they invite him to this house, to one of their houses, a big house, and no adults were there except for them. They were all teenagers at this time, like 18 to 20. Some of them were older, but anyway, the bottom line is they got there. They invited him to come there to play games. Now, I'm telling you this story because it's coming back to me now. This is starting to ring, very similar to the things that Diddy's victims have alleged against him. So listen, so you guys remember how I told you that they got him there and they were supposed to be playing video games and they started giving him drinks and everybody's drinking, but there was something in his drink. All of a sudden, he starts feeling real sleepy, real lethargic, feeling sick. So he asked them, is there anywhere I can go lie down? And they said, yeah, you can go lay down in the basement. So he goes down in the basement and he passes out. When he wakes up, he's in pitch darkness. All the lights are turned out. Nobody's there but him. And he's feeling this horrible pain in his behind. Okay? In his behind, he's feeling this pain. And then he stands up and something runs out of him. Now, I want you to think about this because I told you this 4 years ago. So, I'm not making this up. I told you all this 4 years ago. See, Mr. Elevation remembers, Claudette remembers, okay? So with that all being said, now mind you, there was 4 or 5 of them. This is a gang grape. But here's what happened. Something ran out of him, and think about how Diddy's victim said the same thing. That he was dropped off somewhere after he'd been raped, and he said that when he got back to his house or apartment or whatever, he went to use the bathroom. Or first of all, he said something leaked out, and then he said that the prophylactic fell out, and then he had to go to the hospital to a doctor and get laser surgery to fix the laser treatment to stitch. Anyway, so that all sounds very similar. But so when he said he stood up, something leaked out, he said when he cut on the lights, there were funnels and liquor bottles around him. So apparently they had taken the funnels, put it up his back door, and poured liquor down there. Okay, and then they did what they did because he clearly was very sore back there. And, I'm not going to get into all the specifics, but long story short, when he was trying to get up out of there because he realized what had been done to him, they cornered him and threatened him and said, if you tell anybody what happened, just remember, we have some very powerful parents. Okay, we can take out you and your whole family. And basically, one of them said that his father was FBI. So with that all being said, he then went home. And he didn't tell my friend for days, but she was telling me that he's acting real strange. Something is really not right about him. He's acting real different and withdrawn and all of these things and being very prone to anger. So she ended up talking to him and he told her what happened, but he didn't tell her the whole story. He told her it was one person that did it. So she takes him to see a psychiatrist because his mental is just not going well. And the psychiatrist comes and tells her, says, listen, I know about about doctor-client privilege, but he's a minor, because I think at the time he was like 17. And she says, basically, your son says that he was gang raped. That's when she found out that it was more than one of them that did this. Now, I'm not going to get into all of it because I don't want to get off topic, but with that all being said, after that, he started engaging in some very demonic behavior. Very demonic behavior. I mean, literally needed deliverance. I'm talking about demonic possession. Started looking at child porn. I mean, started doing things totally out of character. Started trying to be violent with family, even his own mother. So I'm telling you, when I talk to you about the transference of energy, and those on the spiritual channel, you already know about all this stuff. But when I'm telling you all about the transference of energy, this is the kind of stuff I'm talking about. These people with demonic, malevolent entities attached to them, and it's always more than one because they travel in legions. So when they put this stuff on you, and the reason they like to do it from the back door is not only to burst the root chakra, but that's the easiest passage to implant that nefarious energy into the person. And then it travels up the vertebrae of the spine. Okay, just like the Christ within energy travels up the vertebrae of the spine. You see, everything that the Most High has done and does to give us spiritual enlightenments and to help us have self-preservation, all of those things, the devils do the opposite, to not only mock the Most High, but to keep us from becoming spiritually enlightened and to pervert anything that is holy and righteous and meant for the good of mankind. Now, I want you all to think about that. And also, don't forget how the word demon rhymes with that liquid that men have, okay? That fluid that men have. All right, just think about that. That's another reason. It's all tied together. I just want you all to pay attention. Okay, this is all real sick. And, you know, the reason I know about a lot of this stuff is like I told you before, because I'm an esoteric philosopher. So I have studied all of this stuff for years. Okay, this is not something I just learned about. I've been studying and researching these things for years. Okay, but so anyway, let's continue because this is all real sad. That this has been going on to people allegedly for decades. So anyway, it goes on to say, hold on, let me see where I left off. Okay, here we go. So they'd wake up and he was raping them. Now, the new complaints are the latest of a wave of lawsuits filed against Combs in recent months, all with the complainants withholding their names, accusing him of assault and rape under similar circumstances going back to the 90s. Combs has been behind bars since September, when he was arrested by federal agents and accused of engaging in a years-long scheme to sexually abuse and exploit women. Now, prosecutors say Combs, among other things, used his businesses and his business empire to coerce victims into elaborate drug-fueled freak-offs with male sex workers that he arranged. Okay, now his lawyers, they've said he's innocent of the charges, whatever. Okay, so now, saying it's just all false, fictitious, and full of lies. Okay, now let's get into stuff about, wait a minute, before I get into Basquiat, let's talk about LeBron, because I find this all interesting. LeBron James steps away from Lakers for personal reasons as he plays some of the worst basketball of his career. Now, supposedly his sons joined the team and he was looking forward to playing with his son, but now he's stepping away. Don't y'all find that interesting? Why are you stepping away, LeBron? What do you have going on here? What is really going on with LeBron that he wants to step away from basketball? Hold on, let me pull this up. Where is it? Hold on. I just have several questions because it looks like a whole lot of people are stepping away from a whole lot of things. What's going on here, LeBron, that you need to step away? Now, I'm going to keep that picture up because I have something to show you about that picture. Okay, so LeBron James appears to be searching for answers as he steps away from the Lakers amid a worrying decline and swirling trade rumors. LeBron is he's not with the team right now. This is what Riddick told reporters while at practice on Wednesday. He's out for personal reasons, excused absence. Now, James missed his first game of the season on Sunday against the Blazers, okay, after previously setting a goal to play in all 82 in his age 40 season. Now, Riddick added that James would take some time off after struggling mightily in his last few games, including a 0-20 stretch from behind the three-point line. So anyway, James has appeared exhausted as of late after playing in all 23 games up to that point, clearly conserving energy and putting in less defensive effort. The advanced stats show that James is slowly starting to show his age and is trickling into his game. Okay, so now maybe he's quitting because he's just getting too old for the game. I don't know. I just find things, just very interesting when all of these people are changing up what they're doing. I also heard that Ellen DeGeneres' house over there in the UK supposedly flooded. That's what someone told me today. I didn't bother to look it up because I didn't have time. But now I want you all to pay attention to something. I want you all to look at this tattoo on LeBron's arm. You all see that tattoo on LeBron's arm? I hope you all can see that. It looks like a three-pointed crown. Okay, now why is that interesting, Queen Ahmadiyyah? Why are you pointing that out? Who cares about LeBron's tattoo? Well, I just thought it was interesting seeing as how Chris Rock has that same tattoo. I just thought that was even more interesting seeing as how Diddy has that same tattoo on his neck. Okay? And look at here. All right? Are y'all seeing this? Why the hell do they all have that tattoo? Well, I don't know why they all have it exactly, but I can surely speculate. Basquiat's, more ties to Basquiat. See, that was one of his signature things in his paintings, almost like a signature. Okay, almost like a signature. That was in lots of his paintings. So I just want you all to pay attention to that. So it looks like not only Jay-Z has an affinity for Basquiat, but so do these other people. Specifically, this young lady right here, or shall I say old lady, Madonna. Now, for those of you that tuned in to the broadcast this morning, you may remember, Michelle said Queen is cooking. Thank you, beloved. You may remember, for those of you who were tuned in this morning when I talked about Jay-Z's relationship or his obsession with Basquiat, I told you that Madonna dated him previously before she was famous. Do you all remember that? One's in the chat if you remember me saying that this morning, that Madonna dated him. I told you guys that this morning. But not only date him, she was in love with him. And the funny thing is, well, I'm just going to let y'all hear this before I give you what I have surmised, because y'all know I'm real good at connecting these dots. And just remember, you heard it here first. Now, I'm going to put an overlay on this, but this is Madonna talking in an interview about her relationship with Basquiat.
These are very big indulgences.
Do you do that? Because you
Yeah, I collect art.
and who do you like? What artists do you like?
Who do I love, you mean?
Who do you love?
Because if you're going to pay out the big cash paintings,
You better love it.
What's the
Right.
most expensive painting you ever bought?
Francis Bacon.
Francis Bacon.
Yeah.
That's oil.
Yeah.
Right.
And large. Are you a fan of his work?
I don't know enough about art to be a fan. I just know a bunch of watercolor artists. That's
Really?
my thing. That's what
But
I like.
you're a painter, aren't you?
I paint a little bit. I'm hardly a painter.
Oh, well, you should check out his paintings. He was an Irish painter. He's dead now, but he's a fantastic painter.
So is that the best thing about having a lot of money, that you can go out and buy a painting?
Well, that was always my goal. I always said, when I was married to Sean, I said, when I make my first million, I'm going to buy art. And I'm a big fan of Frida Kahlo. I always was since I was a child. And I bought a self-portrait of hers. And at the time, it was rather inexpensive and people didn't know who she was. Now it's a gazillion times more expensive. But that was my big thing. Like I bought a painting.
Well, that's a guy you dated, the artist, Jean-Michel
Basquiat.
Yes.
Mhm.
You dated him when you were young.
Yeah, I did.
And you left him because of drugs.
I did. He wouldn't stop doing heroin.
But you were in love with him.
I was. He's He was an amazing man and deeply talented. I loved him.
Did you have a ton of his paint? Do you have a ton of his paintings?
Yeah, but when I broke up with him, he made me give them all back to him.
Oh my God, what a mistake.
And then he painted over them black.
Oh, you're kidding.
No.
You would have.
Wow.
What would those paintings have been worth?
I don't know, but anyway, I shouldn't have given them back to him. I didn't know. Whatever. Doesn't matter.
Somebody gives you a painting.
Yeah.
It's yours. And you should have said that to him.
I know, but you know how guys give you rings and then you break up with them and they're like, I want my...
Hold on, guys. I'm going to play that, but I just want you all to see this is a picture of her and him, okay, together.
My ring back.
And you say no.
I didn't say no because he was like, it's my art and I want it back. And I was like, okay.
But why paint black over it to get at you?
Because he was upset that I broke up with him.
Is the worst thing in the world to go out with somebody using drugs because you get frustrated. You're like, can I change you? Aren't I good enough to make you happy?
It's difficult to watch people destroy themselves. That's the worst thing. And we always think, because I've also been with alcoholics, we always think we can fix people and we can't. They have to do it for themselves.
Right. You always think you can change someone. And my psychiatrist told me there's no way you can change anybody.
Nope. Just change yourself.
Right.
Okay, so I'm going to play that without the audio so you all can see some of the pictures of them together. I'm not going to play the whole thing, but just so you can see a few of the pictures. She was in love with this man. And again, like I said, this is before she got famous. So I want you all to think about that because here's the thing. Basquiat died at the age of 27. So you know what that means? That means that he is a member of the 27 Club. All of these famous people who died at the age of 27. Now, people say that's a conspiracy theory, a myth or whatever. But at the end of the day, I absolutely believe there's something to it. All of these people that died at the age of 27, very suspicious, okay? Let's talk about Amy Winehouse, okay? Jimi Hendrix, Janis Joplin, okay? Jim Morrison. I mean, the list goes on and on. Yeah, I said Jimi Hendrix exactly. And Basquiat. And Madonna was dating him. Now, she said she loved him. And that's important to me because when they talk about blood rituals and sacrifices, it has to be a person that the person really loves and cares about. Now, I'm not saying Madonna did anything. I just find it a coincidence, or more than a coincidence, because I don't really believe in coincidences. But I find it very interesting that he died at the age of 27. Okay. That is a very significant number in numerology. I know because I was born on February the 27th. But also, the fact that this is prior to her getting famous and she got so famous afterwards. Okay, please pay attention. And then also, I meant to tell you all, that guy on the picture, the Caucasian gentleman who had that tattoo of the crown, the three-pointed crown, that was David Bautista. But also Ruby Rose. Ruby Rose has that same tattoo. Let's go back and take a look. Now, why are all these people having this three-pointed crown that Basquiat is known for? Okay? I want y'all to pay attention. I want you all to pay attention to stuff like that. Little tidbits put together. So let's talk about the three-pointed crown. Three-pointed crown, a spiritual symbol. It sure is. It certainly is, okay? So let's have a brief word from our sponsor before we continue. Lights up, everyone, please. Like and share. Thank you in advance. Where is it? Here we go.
Do not buy 12 Tribes on Earth hair growth oil and hair magic elixir unless you want super healthy, gorgeous hair that grows. They have a whole line of amazing hair growth products, including hair growth leave-in conditioner spray, hair growth shampoo, hair growth spray, and hair growth butter. I'm starting to sense a theme here. They include quality natural ingredients. They smell amazing, and you can see the results for yourself. So if you're looking for healthy hair growth for your natural or relaxed hair, try 12 Tribes on Earth today.
Said, don't forget you can purchase 12 Tribes for your hair at Etsy.com. Just look for Lisa Crafts, and you can also find it at Walmart.com. Okay. Notice Diddy is wearing a Basquiat shirt, and Diddy also owns some of Basquiat's artwork as well. And you already see he has the tattoo on his back, on his neck. And speaking of the tattoo on his back, I'm going to talk about that again, because those of you who saw the broadcast where I talked about that tattoo of Erzulie Danter, okay, that Diddy has tattooed on his back. I'm going to show you something very interesting about that. And I also told you as well how he was said, or how the insider told me, that Diddy would do these rituals where he would literally conjure the spirit of Erzulie Frida, which is supposed to be Erzulie Danter's sister. And Erzulie Frida is a protector of men who like men. Okay, so please pay attention. Please pay attention. Now, let's talk about this three-pointed crown. And remember what I told you guys about anything that is meant to be something positive and something good, the devils always use it for something nefarious, okay? To pervert it. Christopher said, keep cooking, Queen. I will, beloved. The Dogman says, I wonder if Michelle Lammy has a crown tattoo. I wouldn't be surprised. I absolutely wouldn't be surprised, beloved. Hold on. Measure Man says, see the post on ED Paintings where it shows the painting with death to all. R.I.P. to death. It's R.I.P. to all. Death is beautiful. Okay, I'm not, I don't know about that painting, but I'll definitely look it up. Okay, so let's continue. So the three-point crown has been present in various cultures throughout history. It's often associated with the concept of the Trinity. Now remember that word, keep that in mind, the Trinity, which symbolizes the divine essence of the universe and represents unity, balance, and harmony. So what are these people saying with that crown symbol? They're all telling us that they're united. You see, I want you all to pay attention. All of those people with that crown, I guarantee you, they were allegedly at Diddy's parties, that they allegedly know about what nefarious activities, if not indulge in those activities. Okay, I want you all to pay attention. Okay? I want you all to pay attention, but let's continue. Now, the origins of the three-point crown can be traced back to ancient civilizations, including, take a guess, ancient Egypt. Didn't I just tell you all this yesterday, and I've told you all a myriad of times in the past, how they take the things from our ancient ancestors and use it for perverse reasons? Okay, going back to ancient Egypt, Greece, and Rome. Well, it started with Egypt, we know that, where it was used as a symbol of power, authority, and divinity. The three-point crown has also been linked to Hinduism, Buddhism, Taoism, and Christianity. In these religions, the symbol represents represents different aspects of divine energy and serves as a reminder of our spiritual connection to the universe. Now, again, I want you to remember that they take what is meant for good and use it for the opposite. So if it's representing divine energy, what kind of energy do you think they're using it for? Now, the three-point crown is often seen as a representation of the Trinity in various belief systems. This concept signifies three aspects of the divine: Father, Son, and the Holy Spirit in Christianity, Brahma, Vishnu, and Shiva in Hinduism, or Yin, Yang, and Kai in Taoism. These aspects work together to create balance and harmony with the universe. They said the Trinity. What reminds you of the Trinity? Let's talk about it. Diddy's tattoo on his back of Erzulie Danter. See that tattoo? You see how Madonna is dressed looking like Urzuli dancer? She's really supposed to be the Madonna, i.e. her name. She was dressed as the Madonna for Halloween. See the blood drops on her face? See the marks on the face over here? I want you all to pay attention because it's very important for us to notice these things. These are subliminal messages. These are code things that they put out. They use imagery and symbolisms. This is what they do. They use imagery and symbolisms. Okay, so please pay attention. Now, the 3 points on the crown also symbolize different stages of spiritual development. The first point is this represents the foundation of our spiritual journey, self-awareness, and understanding who we truly are. For those of you on the spiritual channel, you know I've already told you this stuff. It encourages us to look within ourselves, acknowledge our strengths and weaknesses, and work towards personal growth. The second point, as we progress on our spiritual path, this point symbolizes the importance of finding balance between different aspects of our lives. This includes balancing our emotions, thoughts, and actions to achieve inner peace and harmony. The third point, the final point, signifies enlightenment, the ultimate goal of any spiritual journey. It represents the state of complete unity with the divine energy where we become one with the universe, transcending all limitations and achieving mastery over our lives. What are the devils using it for, though? The devils are using it to transform the divine energy of the regular people, right, into nefarious energy, okay, low vibrational energy. How do they do this? There's different ways that they do it. Like in the case of Diddy, I do believe it's through bursting the chakras. Jay-Z allegedly allowed Marina Abramovich to create a transference of energy, creating this auric field, okay? And then let's not forget Aleister Crowley, whom Jay-Z likely has read his teachings. We saw he has the shirt with the quote on it. We see Marina Abramovich with a picture of Aleister Crowley. These people are into, let me just say allegedly, but I am here to tell you, I'm not going to say any specific names, but I'm going to tell you this, and this ain't alleged. There are people in Hollywood, there are people in the music industry who work in the dark arts. That is what they do. These people belong to covens of witches, satanic cults. They engage in these things. You may remember that about 4 years ago, when I first started on YouTube, I told you all about that SEX cult Nexium, which one of the Brofman family members was allegedly involved in, the heiress to the Seagram's fortune. And supposedly it was said during the reportings when all of this was going on that she paid for the attorneys for all the people involved. And what were they doing? I want you all to pay attention to how that story, which should have been blown worldwide globally, didn't get half the attention as Diddy's and Jay-Z's stories are getting. But here's the thing. Those of you who remember, I told you how the man who was the leader of this alleged cult, he had women recruiting other women by under the guise. Because remember, I told you all many a times that the devils never let you know what they're really up to. Like Anton LaVey didn't go up to people saying that he worshiped Satan, come and join me at the church of Satan. He fooled people by telling them that you're not worshiping the devil. What you're doing is you're practicing self-enlightenment. You're basically, worshiping yourself, the spirit of yourself. It's all about self-enlightenment. No, they were worshiping Satan. They were worshiping Satan. They always hide the hand, okay? Because they know that certain people wouldn't deal with it if they knew the truth. So this is just one of the things that they do. I want you all to pay attention because this is also nefarious at the end of the day. This is also nefarious, but they have these witches and warlocks. Okay, they have these witches and warlocks, and remember, I told you guys how they have this altar room. Let me say allegedly, but I got this from a very reliable source who's in the industry, and I've known this for at least a decade, that they allegedly have altar rooms at some of these record labels, these record companies, and where they have these 13 witches come in and cast spells and do incantations over the music. So that's why sometimes we seem like we're hypnotized by the music. Okay, just think about how the frequency of the music, sometimes you get caught up in it. Even if there's a song you don't like, if you listen to it enough, it's programmed into your subconscious mind. And then you all of a sudden find yourself singing the lyrics and you don't even realize it. And you're asking yourself, how did I all of a sudden like this song? I didn't like it at first. But after you hear it over and over and over, I remember one time I was on a road trip for about 6 hours and I was listening to that song by Fetty Wap. I think it was Trap Queen. I hated that song. I loathed that song. But on the way as I traveled, I heard that song about 4 times in those 6 hours. And then on my way back coming home, I heard that song again about 3 or 4 times. And by the time I made it home, I was singing the lyrics word for word and felt like I loved this. And then I asked myself, why the hell am I singing this? Why am I all of a sudden liking this song? I want you all to pay attention. And Jeezy even had a song where he chanted, hypnotize, hypnotize. I will hypnotize you. Hypnotize, hypnotize. I will hypnotize you. And I swear, listening to that song, I started to feel like I was being put into a trance. Okay, so I stopped listening to it. Now, Measure Man says, thank you, Queen. We have been trying to expose them for years. We got so close. Unfortunately, one of our founders passed away 2 years ago, 12/13/22. We will not stop. Well, thank you, beloved. And, rest in peace. And my condolences for your friend passing away. I'm sorry to hear that. Thank you for your insight into the topic and your contribution to the channel, beloved. Peace, love, and blessings. Yeah, when you want to expose people like this, there are some people who will fight you tooth and nail because they don't want the truth. They don't want to know the truth. Okay, it's willful ignorance. Jabril Builder says J. Cole uses that symbol on albums. Right. You're absolutely right, beloved. I do believe that I have seen that on J. Cole's album. Hold on. And thank you for your insight into the topic and your contribution to the channel. Peace, love, and blessings. Hold on. Yeah, here it is right here. Actually, this isn't a 3-pointed crown. It's just a crown. So I'm not going to tie him in with them just yet. But this is actually, let me just show you guys a picture of it. But I tell you what he does have on here is clearly satanic as far as I'm concerned. Okay, it's clearly satanic. It's still wicked imagery. Hold on, let me share my screen real quick. Likes up, everyone. Please don't forget to like and share. It's very important that you like the videos so we get more engagement. Okay, thank you very much. That's how you can support the channel for free. You see that? Born sinner. That's a devil with horns. And he does have a crown, but it's just not the 3-pointed crown. But definitely satanic imagery. Okay, so we need to be paying attention to stuff like this. Okay, we need to, because they show us what they're doing. Some of us are just willfully ignorant or just blind to it. We don't want to realize it or accept it. We want to cape for these people as if we know them in real life. Okay? I had a point that I wanted to make, but I got off track because I was talking so much about something else. But it was something else I was going to point out to you guys about how they hide things and under the guise of something else. I was going somewhere with that. Let me put that picture back up there. It'll come back to me. Let me put that picture back up on the screen. Yeah, so just look at this. They take something that is meant for good, like I told you, and look at this. Madonna with blood on her face. Now, let's continue talking about this 3-pointed crown. So, the 3 crowns, or the 3 points on the crown, also symbolize different stages of spiritual development. Okay? The first point represents The first point, it represents the foundation of our spiritual journey, self-awareness, understanding. I think I already read this part. Yeah, I already read this part. Okay, let me go down some. Okay, now it goes on to talk about the use of meditation, affirmations, and visualization. Everybody from the spiritual channel, you already know that I tell you about this all the time. This is something that we absolutely should be practicing. But you see, devils, what do? Oh, they meditate. They meditate on the dark arts. Affirmations, well, they don't really use affirmations when they're doing their rituals and things. They use incantations. Okay, remember, I don't want to keep saying this person's name, but you guys know that the person that I exposed a couple of years ago, the reason I exposed them is because I was told, it was told to me by several sources that followed this person at the time, that this person was using my spiritual teachings along with another woman's spiritual teachings and using it in these webinars and talking about incantations and black magic. So I immediately knew what they were up to. And I'm going to tell you all something. I can't get into the specifics because I was literally sworn to secrecy. But I will say this. One of the people tied to that person that I exposed, someone reached out to me recently about something that happened to them very bad, something very disturbing. And they reached out to me and asked me for help. They told me that they saw my video where I was exposing this person and this other person, and they said that something had happened to them. And I want to tell you all, it was just really shocking. Not because, that I was surprised that this person was accused of doing this, but it was shocking that this person, fortunately, found my video and was able to reach out to me for help because I absolutely was able to help them. Okay, but I just want you all to pay attention. These people are into some dark stuff. That's all I'm saying. So with that all being said, they do incantations rather than affirmations. And visualization, which I tell you all to do all the time, the art of visualization, this is how we manifest and create things. We literally create our own realities. And so with that all being said, they do the same thing. But they also use visualization to cast spells. Okay, they cast spells. And I want you all to pay attention because as I've told you a myriad of times about how words have power and how we cast spells with power or cast spells with words, Measure Man said we have pictures of Tom Hanks and Oprah's Basquiat paintings. Absolutely, beloved. I would not be surprised. All of these people are just really obsessed with Basquiat, okay? Now, with that all being said, they cast spells and all of that stuff. We literally cast spells every day, whether we want to or not, but it's mainly about your intentions. Now, if you're not out here intentionally trying to do something nefarious, then you don't have to worry about it. But it's always still good to keep your words or to choose your words wisely because sometimes we unwittingly cast spells of death. And in the Bible, it says the power of life and death is in the tongue. Okay, but not just the tongue. When we speak words, what are words? On the spiritual channel, I told you that words are electromagnetic energy, and we use this to create reality. Anything that you talk about and continuously focus your energy on, that's what you manifest. Okay, so the power of life and death is in the tongue means what? What is power? Power is energy. So the energy in which you speak things, they come into existence. So that's why you have to absolutely be careful of what you speak and what you say. Now let's continue. So it goes on to say that in conclusion, the three-pointed crown is an ancient symbol that holds profound meaning for those seeking enlightenment and mastery in their lives. By understanding its historical origins and spiritual significance, we can use it as a powerful tool for personal growth, inner balance, and self-awareness. Embrace the wisdom of this timeless emblem and let it guide you on your journey towards true spiritual mastery. And for those of you who follow the spiritual channel, we're going to be on there Saturday. I'm not going to say tomorrow, but we'll definitely be on there early Saturday. And we're going to talk more in depth about these things. I'll likely do this as a members only broadcast. So I want you all to pay attention because we are in spiritual warfare. You have to realize that all of these lawsuits coming out and all of this stuff that's happening and being revealed, this is all due to the age of Aquarius, the times that we're living in. Some of these things have been prophesied. And at the end of the day, hell is literally right here on earth. Okay, there's demons that have been unleashed that are roaming around cloaked in human flesh. Okay? Cloaked in human flesh. And everybody has to be spiritually prepared and in tune, lest you fall victim to it. Leon says the queen is connecting the dots. Thank you, beloved. Now, with that all being said, I want you all to look at this again. This thing with Madonna and Diddy. Okay, now you know, another thing that I noticed is Chris Rock is friends with Madonna. There's pictures of them together. All of these people are allegedly friends. And I told you how they use symbolisms and imagery, and they all have that three-pointed crown on their bodies, tattooed on there. Not just wearing it on clothing items, but literally tattooed on them. This is a sign of their unification. This is a sign that they are all together. So here's what I want you to think about. Yes, that's right, re-educated soul. They're all interconnected. And so with that all being said, I want you to think about where Diddy is right now. Diddy's sitting in jail. And all of these people walking around here with that same tattoo he has. What do you think about them? Do you think that some of them were participating in the festivities, alleged festivities? How about how many of them were on some of the alleged videotapes? Okay? I want you all to pay attention. Moderators. Do I have any moderators in here? Moderators, could you please drop the link to the spiritual channel? I see someone asking for it. Ajamon is asking for it. Could you please drop the link to the spiritual channel, beloveds? Thank you. Okay, so this. Let me tell you something. This rabbit hole goes so deep, you guys, and I have so much information and so many receipts. There's no way I could give them all to you in a day. But Mimi says you are teaching queen. Thank you, beloved. So with that all being said, that's right. Lance says Disney uses a lot of subliminal imagery. Yes, they absolutely do. And I have talked about that in a broadcast some years ago, maybe in 2020 or 2021. But they absolutely do. And you know, so this is just all real crazy. You all, we need to pay attention to this, like I told you. Okay. And also there are these ritualistic things that they engage in. You know, it's all nefarious. It's never for anything good. But we're going to get more into it tomorrow. I'm going to go ahead and wrap this up. But do not be deceived by these people who come off as larger than life celebrities out here. You know, we're proud of them when we see them, especially the ones who look like us. You know, we enjoy the talents that they have and all of that. Only to find out that some of them allegedly are involved in very demonic things, okay, that are not of the Most High. And it's really a sickness, a sick shame, how they take things that the Most High intended for good and they twist it for satanic purposes, okay? So we're going to talk about some serious stuff tomorrow as it pertains to some of these things, okay? So you all make sure you tune in for your morning wake-up call. Make sure you tune in for your morning wake-up call tomorrow because we're going to get into some more of this stuff. Yeah, we're going to talk about some stuff that these people are absolutely doing. I'm going to show receipts. Some of this stuff is not going to be alleged because we're going to see the actual footage of them engaging in certain things. And I'll show you that stuff along with some of my own speculation, of course. But again, let me just say that all parties mentioned in this broadcast are absolutely innocent until proven guilty. And all these things are allegations and speculation and conjecture. Okay? Denise says, you cooking with fish grease tonight, Queen. Thank you, beloved. I appreciate you. So listen, Felantavia says Shakira is the head witch. Is she? I don't know. Maybe I need to look into Miss Shakira. I don't know what she's been up to. But I'll definitely look into it. Okay, Laverne said, Queen, did you get my email? No, I didn't, beloved. I absolutely didn't. I'm sorry. I haven't really checked my email but once today because I have been so busy. Let me see here. Hold on. Hold on, beloved. Let me check real quick. Is it something that I need to know like right this minute? I'll look into it later. I'll look into it later, but I want you all to pay attention. We're going to get into some real serious stuff, and we'll talk more about these things tomorrow. So anyway, listen, I appreciate you guys for tuning in. Everyone, please hit that like button. Please like, share, and subscribe. Okay, it helps the channel, and it doesn't cost you a thing. And I hope you enjoy. Andrea said, keep your feet on their necks, Queen. I will. Okay. So above all that, Drum said, Queen, did you get the candle? Oh my goodness, beloved. Oh my God. I haven't been to the post office. I'll go by the post office tomorrow. Okay. And thank you. Okay. So with that all being said, everyone, enjoy the rest of this evening. Remember, each one teach one. That's how we grow and thrive. Do something productive, constructive, but never destructive. And always remember, beloveds, to keep the Most High first in your lives. And until next time, I will talk to you all again soon. Peace.
Gold all in my skin, God all in my blood, kings all in my circle. You touch one of mine and you're done. They show no love for the queen. Why you hating on me? Is it cause I'm free and I got Malcolm X in my jeans? I got dreams like King Luther, shed blood like Kunta. You ain't helping my people, I ain't got nothing to say to ya. I want all the smoke like hookah. Talking reparations, America won't be great until they give us compensation. I'm like, I'm the hottest right now. See a bunch of lames out here trying to jock on my style. They be doing too much. I'm the queen, it's too easy. It's like they all at Popeyes, how they be talking so greasy. I just sit back and laugh while these haters get madder. So nefarious how they don't want my pockets with cheddar. I tell them they can do better. These snakes in the grass can leave a bite on your ass, cause y'all be trusting too fast. I got my foot on the gas, other one on they necks. Dropping receipts on haters, you better show some respect. I'm never facing regrets, we only facing the threats. Running through every challenge like a relay, break no sweat. It's a cold game, so I got that blanket with me. Now that my people awaken, ain't no going to sleep. I do not play by my piece, this time I'm playing for keeps. You talking slick, but when I see you like them ends, we gon' meet. And I got gold all in my skin, God all in my blood, kings all in my circle. You touch one of mine and you done. They show no love for the queen. Why they hating on me? Is it cause I'm free and I got Malcolm X in my jeans and I got gold all in my skin, God all in my blood, kings all in my circle. You touch one of mine and you done. They show no love for the queen. Why they hating on me? Is it cause I'm free and I got Malcolm X in my jeans and I got